basketball!
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Good Morning Let's Basketball. Now, we got a little bit of a different look for today's video, and that is because I will be hosting a new segment on our YouTube channel called Baseline Banter. What Baseline Banter pretty much is going to be is I will be covering one game a week I feel like is worth covering. I know NBA games can be tough to watch sometimes because there's so many throughout the week, so I will be picking one game a week and kind of recapping of what I saw. And for today's first episode, we will be covering the Boston basketball Celtics. November 1st, they played the Indiana Pacers in Boston and absolutely smoked these fools. They ended up beating the Indiana Pacers by 51 points and putting up a total of 155 points. When I was watching the highlights of this game, I kind of noticed that the Pacers never really gave up throughout the duration of the game. The Celtics simply just have way too many weapons and people to keep up with on their offense. I mean, for Christ's sake, Sam Hauser banged 5 or 6 threes off the bench. When he's doing that, there's really not much you can do. The Celtics are also currently one of the two only undefeated teams in the league behind the Dallas Mavericks. Tatum was pretty much doing his thing this game. He had 30 points. I mean, looking at this play right here, getting the ball to the corner, doing his regular size up. Oop, step back, bang. The rest of his highlights pretty much just look like that. But there is one highlight that I really wanted to pinpoint that I noticed that he's been doing a lot this year. So I always had this thought that Tatum can sometimes settle for the three, but go ahead and take a look at this clip right here. See him doing his regular size up here, fake spin, midi, cash. Tatum looked really comfortable in the mid-range this game, and I definitely want to see him incorporate this more into his game. Like I said earlier, he kind of can settle, and I hate when he does that because he's just so simply deadly in the mid-range. Because when he's doing his thing in the mid-range, he's damn near unguardable. We already know what Tatum can do. So I think the Celtics are definitely making it known earlier on in the season that they are the top dogs in the East, and we got to watch out for these boys because 155 points in an NBA game, no matter who it's on, is just straight up crazy. We know the weapons that they have, and like I mentioned earlier, when you have Sam Hauser banging 5 threes off the bench, there's only so much you can do. As far as the Indiana Pacers, though, still looking like some poverty over there. Tyrese Halliburton was out with injury, so they did have Andrew Nembhard step in as a starting point guard. And I know we definitely need Tyrese Halliburton to come back so we don't have to watch Andrew Nembhard play that much basketball. I mean, dude shot 1 for 7 from 3 and 6 for 17 from the field. He was like, fuck it, Tyrese is out. Someone got to step up. And we weren't thinking it was going to be you, buddy. I know. I'm kind of unnecessarily hating on Andrew Nembhard here. So we're going to go ahead and roll one of my favorite plays from him this past game. Catching the ball here, top of the key on Jaylen Brown. Whoop! Where you going, Jaylen? Step over, midi. Simple. But Pacers fans, I wouldn't be too stressed out about this. You guys are still a young team, still trying to find your identity. I believe the time will come. Not anytime soon, though. Just through the first 4 games of the season, I definitely think that the Celtics are just one of the strongest teams in the NBA, period. I mean, they have so many weapons. Porzingis doesn't even have to score 20 points a game for them even to put up 155 points, which is just insane to me. So I think we will definitely be seeing the Boston Celtics in the NBA championship this year. I cannot simply see the Bucks having enough defenders to guard anybody on the Celtics. I mean, they already are pretty weak at the perimeter defense. So you heard it here. Boston Celtics will be in the finals in 2024. Now, there wasn't a whole lot to cover this game. So what I'm going to get into next is the NBA in-season tournament. So the first time the NBA will be doing the in-season tournament, I know we're all pretty excited for it. We've seen all the court designs that they have planned out for the year. But the in-season tournament does begin this Friday. And I kind of just want to go through and give my picks of who I think will win the first stage of group stages games. So first game of the NBA in-season tournament, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers playing the Indiana Pacers. I do believe Cleveland will take that game. We have the Knicks versus the Bucks, which I think is going to be a lot better of a game than people assume. I'm taking Milwaukee, though. Third up that day, we have the Wizards versus the Heat. I'm going to go with the Wizards on this one. The Heat are kind of off to a weak start, 1-4. Wizards aren't much better. They're 1-3, but I think the Wizards can pull it off. That's like my dark horse. Up next, we have the Nets versus the Bulls. Now, 2-2 and 2-3. Chicago being 2-3 and Brooklyn being 2-2. Hometown team. I definitely believe the Chicago Bulls are going to beat the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn is tough, though. They're no pushover. They have a lot of young talent, but I'm going to ride with Chicago on this one. Next up after that, we have the Golden State Warriors versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. I believe the Warriors will take this with ease, even though the Thunder are a pretty tough team and they're young. I think the Warriors got it. Now, this is where it's going to get really interesting. I believe this is the best group stage game that we're going to be seeing on Friday. It is the Dallas Mavericks versus the Denver Nuggets. The Dallas Mavericks are the only undefeated team in the league right now, other than the Boston Celtics at a record of 4-0, and the Nuggets starting off very strong to the year at 4-1. I think this game is going to be absolutely insane. We're going to see guys like Kyrie, Luka, Jokic, Murray, the rest of the Denver Nuggets roster, pretty much just going at it. But I think I'm going to take the safe pick here. I'm going to go the Denver Nuggets will beat them in this game. And to wrap up the first day of the NBA in-season tournament, we have the Memphis Grizzlies playing the Portland Trailblazers. Now, here's something that was very unexpected to me, and that is that the Memphis Grizzlies are off to an 0-5 start this season. I guess they do need Ja Morant after all. But, in-season tournament, Trailblazers are still pretty young. Scoot is struggling horrifically bad to begin the season. I'm talking turnovers, having the ball slip through his hands when it's getting passed to him straight off the tip. I'm going to take the Grizzlies in this game. But let us know in the comments down below of who you guys have winning these games on day one of the NBA in-season tournament. Feel free to debate. Kind of want to see what you guys think. That is going to wrap up the very first episode of Baseline Banter. I really hope you guys find this series enjoyable. Should expect these episodes once a week. Till next time, fellas.